Guess it might be lost and that is enough. Tell me what's love. How cold is my touch? I'm feeling numb.
The room was dimly lit, the soft glow of candles casting flickering shadows against the walls. Vanilla and sandalwood scented the air, mingling with the rich scent of his cologne. I stood at the door, my heart racing as I watched him from a distance, his dark, brooding figure seated comfortably on the couch. It was his birthday, and the excitement had been building for days. I'd been planning this moment in my head over and over, but standing there now, nothing but a short, silk red dress that clung to my confidence wavered. The reality of what I was about to do hit me like a jolt of electricity. He was about to unwrap the only gift he truly wanted tonight. He lifted his head, sensing my presence before he saw me. Our eyes met, and I could see the shift in his gaze, from casual curiosity to a simmering, that made my tingle. He wore a simple white shirt, the top buttons undone, revealing a hint of his muscular chest. His dark hair fell messily over his forehead, and when he smiled that slow smile, my breath hitched.
"You're finally here,"
he said, his voice like velvet, rich and deep.
"I've been waiting."
I took a step closer, trying to mask the nerves dancing under my.
"I wanted to make tonight special,"
I replied, my voice softer than I intended.
"I wanted to give you something unforgettable."
His eyebrow lifted in amusement, but there was something darker in his expression, desire barely contained.
"Oh, I have a feeling it will be."
His gaze flickered down the warmth of it like a physical.
"Is that my gift?"
I swallowed hard, feeling the tension between us grow.
"Only if you want it,"
I whispered, standing just a breath away now. His hand reached out, fingers grazing the edge of my thigh where the silk dress ended, sending shivers racing across my.
"I think I want a preview."
He smirked, his hand tightening slightly, holding me in place.
"But you already knew that, didn't you?"
I took a deep breath, reacting to the intensity of his. I'd planned for this, rehearsed it in my head countless times, but being so close to him now, feeling his need, was making my pulse race wildly. With trembling hands, I reached behind me and slowly. My dress. The sound seemed impossibly loud in the quiet room, his eyes darkening as each inch was revealed. When the dress finally, pulling at my feet, I stood in front of him wearing. But the delicate, I had picked out specifically for this moment. His eyes roamed over me, on every inch and I could feel between us intensify.
"Happy birthday,"
I said, my voice barely a whisper, watching the way his jaw clenched, his hands twitching as though he was holding back. His reaction was instant, primal. He pulled me onto his hands gripping firmly as he stared up at me.
"You
He growled softly, his voice thick with.
are the only thing I want tonight."
"I want you."
I gasped, arching into him, needing him more than I'd ever needed anything.
"I want all of you."
Hours later, we tangled together under the room still faintly lit by the flickering candlelight. The intensity of the night had left me breathless, still buzzing from the sensations he had drawn out of me. He was lying on his back, his arm draped lazily around my waist, and I rested my head on his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat.
"That was..."
I started, trying to find the words to describe the night we had just shared.
"Perfect."
He finished for me, pressing a to the top of my head.
"It was perfect."
I smiled against his, my fingers tracing lazy circles on his.
"I hope I didn't set the bar too high for next year's gift."
My voice sleepy but content. He chuckled, the sound vibrating through his chest.
"You might have."
He replied, his hand sliding down my back, pulling me even closer.
"But I think I could get used to this kind of tradition."
I laughed softly, feeling his warmth envelop me.
"You're insatiable,"
I murmured, but there was no denying the thrill I felt at the thought of many more nights like this.
Only for you.
He whispered, his voice low and
Always for you.
the night had been everything they both desired, a perfect balance of passion, connection, and a love that left them wanting more, long after the candles had burned down to nothing but faint wisps of smoke.